So this is the first time I've had a chance to see you swim. The basic reason for us meeting today was to really look at your technique. The first thing I noticed is you tend to cross over the center line on your entry on both sides. You also tend to continue that crossing over the center line by pushing the right hand towards the left side of the pool and the left hand towards the right hand side of the pool. Typically, you really want to keep those arms moving towards right hand, right corner of your lane, and left hand, left corner of your lane. The next thing I really noticed was that you tend to pull down with a straight arm, which causes a lot of drag. It's not really very efficient, makes you have to work a lot harder, also doesn't really allow you to increase your pace or your tempo while you're swimming because of all that drag. So that's something that I definitely think we need to address, crossing over the center line as well as the straight arm catch. I also made some notes on here just to help you see what I'm looking at. Here you at least do have your arm bent a little bit, which is a good start. This video is progressive through the swim session that we had. Here from a different angle you can see that you're crossing over that center line on the entry. You can also see that your body isn't necessarily staying as straight from fingertips to toes. We're getting some body bend, which is definitely not efficient. I didn't really see that when I was watching you, but then when I looked at the video I noticed that. And that's the benefit of having a video done, is I pick up on things that I might not have seen while I was watching you. I also mentioned here that you tend to be breathing a little bit late. That's not something that I'm going to address right away, but that's definitely something in the future that we need to work on. Here, this is nitpicking a little bit, but your elbow is lower than your hand, and ideally your hand is always under your elbow for the recovery part of your stroke as well as the catch part of your stroke. That's just something I wanted to comment on. I didn't want to let that go. But you can see here, especially with your right hand as you enter, the elbow tends to drop and the hand is a little higher than the elbow. Here I think we had already started to talk about bent arm. So every once in a while I can see that you're working on bending your arms, but definitely something that's going to take some time to change and adjust to. Here you can really see with your breathing late, ideally when you start to pull back with the arm, your head should follow. And typically your arm is all the way back at your body before you've actually turned your head out of the water, which isn't giving you as much air as is really ideal. Here's just a different view. I talked to you about the elbow angle. Basically, if you open up your elbow angle, that will help you enter the water at shoulder width. We did the magic marker drill just to work on getting your elbows high and keeping your arms close to your body. Here you can see that you cheated a little bit on the magic marker drill. That hand isn't touching underneath your armpit, but that's okay. That's the beauty of video. We get to see all of that. Here you can see you're doing it a little bit better. You've got that thumb touching all the way up underneath your armpit there. Here towards the end I asked you to swim with perfect form. You can see that you're starting to get the bent arm. Not always, but at least once in a while. That elbow is pointing towards the side of the pool. The arm is really bent. To begin with, you definitely have to over-exaggerate it. As you go, unfortunately, that bent arm leaves you a little bit, but hopefully over the next few months as you practice this, it'll become natural. You can see here too, sometimes you tend to tuck that elbow in towards your side instead of continuing to have it pointing towards the edge of the pool where you're really able to grab. Here's where we did magic marker drill again. You can see already that just after a little bit of practice, you're doing it much better. But then look at that hand entry. You're right on that line, if not crossing that center line. And we have a little bit of bend, but you can see towards the end of the lap, you tend to go back to your straight arm catch, which is very typical. It's hard to make changes like this all of a sudden. Here you can see your body, your belly button's facing the side of the pool. That's what I call over-rotation, something we want to avoid, but I just figured I'd point it out there. I think part of it was you were getting tired as well. And here's just the last little bit with the arms crossing center line.